Okay, I probably want to do like Corey Kenshin references. Why are you tangled? Skibbity papa, skibbity. Anyway, I don't even know what video that's from. Hey y'all, so welcome back to my YouTube channel. I just wanted to bring up I just want to bring up two things. One, I have a boo-boo on my thumb. She's healed, but she's not healed fully. Also, on a lighter note, we got 12 subscribers. We have it's 12 of y'all here. Like, oh my gosh, like I'm honestly so excited. So hey newbies, hi besties, hi my brothers and sisters in Christ. I'm so happy that you are here. I hope you stay. I hope you feel welcomed. I hope you feel loved. I hope you feel comforted. And I'm way too hyped. But yeah, like I just hope you feel loved and comforted, and I'm just so glad you're here. Anyways. So, today's video, we're going to be talking about the power of forgiveness. Let's just get started. I'm super excited. So, I looked it up yesterday, and I don't really like a huge reason why I decided to, look this up or, wanted to talk about it today. I just, decided that I wanted to talk about it. So, let's just get started. So, the reason why, well, I guess it's not the power of forgiveness. I guess is the reason why forgiveness is so important. So I guess that's the title of the video. So the reason why forgiveness is so important is because, one, it's essential for spiritual growth. And here's why. When you are forgiving somebody, and then also, okay, hold on. My brain's kind of everywhere. But I'm just gonna say it. Lord help me. It's essential for spiritual growth, and the reason is because when you forgive, you are not holding on to things, and when you forgive, sometimes when you forgive, whether it takes a while or it's immediate, sometimes you can understand exactly why that person did what they did, even though it's wrong. So for example, I'm not trying to out like anybody, but actually, no, I'm not even gonna be that vague. I'm gonna just be vulnerable with you guys. So my mom, she at the time she was going through a lot because me and my sister left for school, and us leaving for school made her realize how it made her realize that stuff that was okay was actually not. And it was bothering her, and I guess one day she just really snapped, and I think some other stuff was going on too, and she just snapped at me. And as if you are a fellow college student or you are an alumni to a school, if you ever step foot in a college, you know how busy it gets, and you know how crazy it gets, and especially it's your first semester. And at the time it was my first semester, and the week prior I called her Monday, but the rest of the week I was just trying to keep my head above water. I had a bunch of assignments to do. I'm not really A+ student, so I had a lot of assignments to make up. I had performances. It was just a lot, and I was just really trying to keep my head above water at the time, so I wasn't really worried about what was going on over here. And my mom called, and she just blew up, and she started talking about things that I was just like, whoa, where's this coming from? Or she started to talk and ask me things that made me sound like I wasn't doing anything there, which completely upset me because I was really working hard, because I knew how much my parents were putting in to keep me there, and I knew people were counting on me, and it just really upset me. And God really controlled my tongue in that conversation. And then a couple other stuff that I just don't agree with, that my mom was just saying to me, that really hurt, and I was ready to pop off. Like I said, only the Lord was helping me. And but that day, actually that morning, I actually sat down and I prayed for everybody in my family, and I prayed for my mother specifically. And I immediately, other family members started telling me stuff that was going on with her, and I immediately forgave her, and it made me, forgiving her really cleared my mind to understand why she said the things that she said, even though it was hurtful, and even though I literally had no reason to be treated that way or talked to that way. It really helped me understand where she was coming from and why she was acting that way towards me, even though it wasn't right. So that's why it's essential for spiritual growth. Because like it just helps you kind of like clear the emotions out of your head, and it really like shows you like, okay, what, what has happened, you know what I mean? At least for me, that's what, when I forgive, that's kind of how like my brain works with forgiveness. It's like when I forgive, it's like the cloud has left, it's like the fogginess has left, also, the reason why forgiveness is so important is because it is healing and it can reconcile with people. Now, I understand for everybody that you forgive, you cannot reconcile with, maybe for legal reasons, maybe there's a restraining order involved, or I don't know why I got there. That's like 10. But like, or you just really don't want that person around you anymore. You forgive them, but you just don't want them in your circle. And also, that's another thing too that people are confused about. Just because you forgive somebody does not mean they have to be your friend again, does not mean they have to be in your circle again, does not mean you have to like them again. You can forgive somebody but still keep your distance. You can forgive somebody and move on. You can forgive somebody and not want them in your life anymore. Like, those things can exist. Just because you don't want that person in your life anymore doesn't mean that your forgiveness isn't valid. You know what I'm saying? You can forgive somebody and still want to move on and still not want them to be in your life. There's at least 2 or 3 people in my life that I have forgiven, but I do not want them in my life whatsoever. I hope they have the best life. I hope they find the love of their life. I hope they find the career choice of their life. I hope they are good. I hope they are blessed. I hope the Lord bless them and keep them, but I don't want them in my circle. And that's okay. So, but yeah, I just want to say that for somebody, because I feel like that Christians like to say, oh, in order to forgive somebody, like, you have to be friends with them and you have to be okay with them and you have to be buddy-buddy with them. No, you don't. No, you do not. That's not even, I don't know. That don't even sound right to me. But yeah, anyways. But yeah, it can bring healing and it can bring reconciliation. So for people that, actually, I have another story, actually. So, stuff going on in my family, and, it was where like my granny had to go to North Carolina. There's some family members that had to go to North Carolina. My sister went, and people asked me if I wanted to go, but for some reason, like, I just felt like I should have stayed. Like, I should have stayed, here. And so I was like, okay. So I stayed in Michigan, and me and my mom went to our local Sam's Club, because she had to get some stuff for her house, and I think that was it. Yeah, she had to get some stuff for her house. So I went with her, and we were at the checkout, and one of my ex-partners was working there. And prior to this, I forgave him, and honestly, a lot of the stuff that happened wasn't really his fault. It's just, I just wish there was better communication involved. But like, other than that, like, it wasn't really his fault. He was just trying to figure stuff out, his own stuff. He was clearly broken his own stuff with the conversations that I had with him, the heart-to-heart conversations that I had with him. He was just broken himself, and he was just trying to fit in himself. So, yeah. And so I forgave him, and I felt like God that day was kind of like, oh, you forgive him? Prove it. And I remember seeing him, and my heart dropped, and I felt so weird. I was like, I hope he does not see me. I hope he does not see me. And he saw me right away. And I was scared on how he was going to treat me. But he treated me so kindly. He treated me like we didn't go through what we went through. Like, he treated me like an old friend, which I really appreciate still. And like, he was like, hey, how are you? He was like, oh, like, okay, I jokingly said, like, okay, I see you with the fro, and like, just laughing about it. And he was like, I can't remember what he said, but he was like, He was like, oh, well, don't talk about me, Miss Locks. Like, okay. Like, he just treated me so kindly. And I didn't verbally tell him that I forgave him, but I hope with my actions, he knows that I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm done. Because the last reaction that we had for each other, I wasn't very kind. And I was very mean and resentful towards him. But I hope with the actions that I took the last time we met, that he knows that I have no hard feelings towards him. Especially now. Like, I'm so happy. I'm so blessed. And I have no hard feelings towards anybody anymore. But yeah, it can bring healing and it can bring reconciliation with family, with friends, with it can just bring reconciliation for people. And but in order to do that, you have to forgive. Even if they don't forgive you yet, you have to forgive, because honestly, forgiveness is for you. It's not really for the other person. When you forgive, you are saying, look, I realize what I've done wrong and I apologize for that. And it's up to them to take that forgiveness or not. I've seen people that refuse to forgive turn cold and bitter. And it's honestly sad. I've seen people close to me resent forgiveness and refuse to forgive somebody that is clearly trying to do better and is clearly trying to do right by them. But they refuse to forgive, and honestly, it just leaves them more broken. But the person that says, look, I forgive, like the person that says, look, I'm sorry, they grew more than the person that refused to take that apology and forgive them too. So it can really bring healing. Even no matter what side you are on, it can really bring healing to you. And I truly feel like that is the Lord helping with that, because you're humbling yourself, you know. And speaking of resentment, that's another reason why forgiveness is so powerful, because it breaks chains of resentment. So when you do not forgive somebody, the way that I visualize this, when you don't forgive somebody, you put a chain on you. And holding resentment and holding grudges is something that for some people it's easy to do. I'm gonna be honest, before Christ, it was very easy for me to be resentful towards people. It was very easy for me to hold grudges against people. You could have done something when we were like 10 years old. I would have remembered, and I would have been like, girl, why are you talking to me? You know what you did to me when I was 10 years old? Screw you. You know what I'm saying? Like, but now it's like, doing that is tiring. Holding resentment and holding grudges is so tiring, and it only hurts you. It only hurts you. And that goes back to the healing. You know what I'm saying? That goes back to healing, where when you forgive somebody, no matter what side you on, it helps with healing, and sometimes it can bring reconciliation. So it's like apologizing really breaks the chains of resentment and breaks the it breaks the chain of resentment, and it breaks the chain of grudges. And I think that's the Lord's work. That is truly the Lord's work. Because for some people, I've heard stories of people forgiving somebody that has done them horribly from the moment they met each other to the moment that the Lord told them to forgive that person. And it's hard. It's really hard to forgive, especially when somebody continues to hurt you over and over and over again. It is hard to forgive. But we sin against the Lord every single day. We break the Lord's heart every single day. And every time we ask for forgiveness, he gives it to us. So if he can do that for us, why can't we do that to others? You know what I'm saying? And I know it's easier said than done, and that's why we need the Lord involved, and that's why you need to pray and ask the Lord to put forgiveness in your heart, and to ask the Lord to forgive you, and ask the Lord to help you forgive other people, because he will give you that chance. There's another situation in my life where God kind of reminded me how poorly I treated one of my cousins when we were younger. I don't really know why I treated him so poorly. I don't know. I don't know why I treated him so poorly. But when I realized how poorly I treated him, I didn't apologize, but my actions started to change towards him. So like with my sister, I'll talk to her like, you know, normally. With my younger cousin, I'll talk to him normally. But with my older cousin, he's not older than me, but he's kind of the same age as my sister, actually. But I would just treat him a little bit differently because of how guilty I felt. And when we all got together, the last time we all got together, I apologized to him. And I said, you know, I feel like the Lord is telling me to apologize to you because of how horribly I treated you when we were younger. And he was like, I'm not worried about that. He's like, I don't want to cry, but he was like, I'm not worried about that. You know, you've been good. You know, you're still my cousin. I still love you. You know, he was like, I'm not worried about that. And like, it just, what am I trying to say? It just really broke the chain of really broke the chain of like guilt, you know, because I had so much guilt. And that's another thing too, like when you ask for forgiveness, you never know how that other person is going to receive that, you know. We like to think of the worst. We like to think that that person would never forgive you, but you don't know what that person is going through either. They're probably waiting for you. They're probably waiting on you. Or they've probably already forgiven you already and just said, you know what? I forgive them, but I'm gonna move on. And like, I don't know why I'm crying. It's really not that big of a deal. But it's forgiveness can really break chains, and it can really, like, the best way I can describe forgiveness, it's like as soon as you forgive, it's like that cloud of whatever you are feeling just goes away. The cloud of hurt, the cloud of resentment, the cloud of guilt, the cloud of shame. It clears up the air as soon as you ask for forgiveness, whether that person forgives you or not. Forgiveness is truly a blessing from the Lord. And people like to look at forgiveness as this weakness when it's actually it's courageous, and it shows how mature you are. Even if that person doesn't forgive you, it shows your maturity. So instead of seeing it as a way of weakness, see it as a form of maturity. Whether like, and it doesn't matter how that person sees it. It matters how you see it. When I like, because you know we're not perfect. We sin against. We all sin against each other. When my mom apologized, I understand that, and I say thank you, because she didn't have to. People will refuse to give you forgiveness. People refuse to ask for forgiveness, and I feel like people that forgive, they're more courageous and they're more mature than people that don't. So when people do me wrong and they ask for forgiveness, treat you differently in the best way possible, because that shows your maturity. And in a world that's full of immature people, good on you, man. Like, for real. But anyways. Also, it mirrors the Lord's grace for us, because like I said before, we sin against the Lord all the time, and he forgives us every single time. And I mean, Jesus died for us, and we're still sinning, you know. And so when we forgive others, it reflects God's grace towards us. And we all want to be more like Christ. We all want to walk more like Christ. And what does Christ do? He forgives. Even when they pinned him up to the cross, even when they whipped him, beat him, treated him so poorly, he said, "Forgive them, Father, for they don't know." He didn't say, "These people are horrible." He didn't say, "God, why do you want me to do this?" He didn't say anything of the sort. He said, "Forgive them, because they don't know." And I feel like with that, I don't know why I'm crying so much, but I feel like with that level of like forgiveness, we have to show that with one another. We gotta show that with one another. The fact that he did that for us and we're still sinning, it's like, who are we to hold forgiveness from other people? Who are we, man? If the Son of Man came down and forgave us, like, who are we? That's how I see it. Like, that's genuinely how I see it. Anyways. some key Bible verses. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I don't feel like reading them. But if you guys want to go and look at the Bible verse for yourself, I encourage you to do that. Please go do that, because a lot of this video is kind of like my opinion, but I want you guys to go and see Bible verses and look them up and read them for yourself. Please read them for yourself. Don't take my word. Read the gospel. So some key Bible verses are Matthew 16:14 through 15, Colossians 3:13, Luke 6:37, Ephesians, I think that's how you say it, Ephesians 4:32, and Matthew 18 verse 1 through 22. So please go read those, look those up, do your own research. And if you're having trouble with forgiveness, just pray. Just ask the Lord, I need your help. It's hard for me to forgive. It's true. It's hard for me to forgive. I don't understand why. I mean, for me, if I'm gonna be vulnerable, it's still hard for me to forgive too. It's hard for me to ask for forgiveness. If I'm being transparent in my, relationship, sometimes my boyfriend will ask for forgiveness, but I'll still be upset about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we just need a little bit of help, and that's okay, because the Lord wants to help us. So if you are struggling with forgiveness, pray, seek the word, seek God, and he will help you. He wants to help us. Like when we ask for his help, he jumps for joy. He is so excited because he wants to help us. He loves us so much and he wants to help us. So don't be afraid to ask for that help. Do not be afraid to ask for that help. Okay, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please make sure to follow my TikTok while it's still around. Follow my Depop. I post things on there every single day. You can also follow my Instagram. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Also, I just want to say thank you guys again for 12 subscribers. I'm really happy and I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you, my brothers and sisters. Bye.